2 years since we voted for Brexit. Here's what still needs to be done. It has been 2 full years since Britain went to the polls and voted to leave the EU, so what should we be expecting in the final countdown to Brexit Day? There are still 279 days to go until we officially leave on March 29, 2019, but it won't all be over then. The process of quitting the EU is due to roll out over many years to come, and is likely to bring a multitude of uncertainties along the way. Here are the dates to look out for along the way. 2018 June 28 to 29. A big issue for Britain and Ireland is the question of an open border. In June, EU leaders will meet for a European Council summit in Brussels. The European Commission and Irish government have made clear they would like agreement here on the backstop arrangement to regulate the border with Northern Ireland in the absence of a viable alternative proposal from the UK. But Britain will try to delay this decision. Theresa May told MPs last week that the summit was not about the Brexit negotiations. Leaders of the EU27 will also meet the EU's chief negotiator Michel Barnier in Mrs May's absence to discuss the progress of negotiations. Another issue to be tackled will be Gibraltar, which MP Ken Clarke has said will make the Irish problem look like a picnic. The British territory voted to remain in the EU by 96%. After all, their survival relies on a large part on Spanish cooperation, meaning a hard Brexit could make things very difficult for the tax haven. July senior ministers will meet at Chequers, the country house of the Prime Minister, reportedly on July 5 and 6, to thrash out the final wording of a white paper which will set out in detail the government's vision for life after Brexit. Also in July, bills on post-Brexit trade and customs will return to the Commons, with the potential for rebellions on issues like membership of the European Customs Union. October Mr Barnier says agreement is needed at the October 18 European Council summit on the final legal text of the withdrawal agreement, in order to give time for its ratification before Brexit Day. The UK also wants a political declaration setting out the broad terms of the future relationship. If outstanding issues are not settled before the summit, there may be little scope for last-minute negotiation to clinch a deal in Brussels, as the leaders of the 27 remaining states are due to discuss Brexit in the absence of Mrs May. November to December if a final text is agreed at the October meeting. The withdrawal agreement will go to the UK and European parliaments for formal consent. If not, there may be a last-ditch attempt to secure a deal at the European Council on December 13. Or even a special Brexit summit in November. If agreement is not reached by the end of December, European Parliament Brexit coordinator Guy Verhofstadt has said it will be too late for it to ratified by MEPs in time for the official date of Brexit in March. A withdrawal and implementation bill will be introduced in Parliament to give legal force to the withdrawal agreement. Another bill setting out post-Brexit immigration rules is expected by the end of the year. 2019 March 21 to 22 Final European Council Summit in which the UK will take part as a member state. March 29 Brexit Day. 2 years after the signing of Article 50, the UK will no longer be a member of the EU. Because the exact moment of exit is midnight Brussels time, the UK is due to leave at 11 p.m. on March 29. Under the terms of the EU withdrawal bill, the bulk of Brussels legislation will be automatically transposed onto the UK statute book. However, Britain will continue to pay into the EU budget and remain subject to EU rules and regulations, while having no say over them, for the duration of the transition. The UK government has said that a future relationship agreement can be finalised in time for Brexit Day, but this has been treated with scepticism by many commentators. May European Parliament elections will take place for the first time without the UK. 2020 Mr Barnier has said he expects negotiations to continue on Britain's future relationship, including the free trade deal, during the transition. Any agreement is likely to be subject to formal approval by national and regional parliaments across the EU. The UK will seek talks with other countries on free trade deals, though the Commission insists that these cannot